Bust caging is a technique used to enhance the appearance of the bust. It adds fullness and firmness to the bust and gives it a structured look. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's get straight into the tutorial. For the caging, we'll be making use of ridgeline boning, and the size we're working with is less than half of an inch. This is because we need the boning to be very flexible as we'll be sewing round curves. We'll be making the cage on the lining parts of our garments. As you can see, I already prepared my bustier and I interfaced my fabric with hairstay. Now my bustier is this way because of the style of the outfit I am making. Yours doesn't have to be this short, but just know that our caging will be stopping at our underbusts. I'll start by mapping out the outline for the cage. I'll make a straight line through the middle like this. I'll come down by ½ inch for our sewing allowance. Then I will make a curve right into that middle line that we made. I'll repeat the same thing on this other side. I will extend this line out a bit and do the same thing on this other side. Now I'm going to make a curve to create the cup in which our bust will sit. I'm just going to draw out this line. I'll be leaving a ½ inch sewing allowance because I'm still going to join it to the other part. This line I am making is directly at my underbust, so if you're working with your half length measurements, just stop the line at your underbust. This is what we have currently, and we've made the outline for the bust. Now it's time to make the outlines that will be inside the cup. I'll just open up my seam allowance and I'll be making a line through that seam following the curve. I'll be making 2 more lines, one on each side of this middle line. Please note that these lines I am making are curvy. I am not making straight lines. If you make straight lines, it's just going to make the cup flat. Now I'm going to make a line that will run from one end of the cup to the other end. Take note that this line is going to pass right through the bust point. I'll be making 2 more lines, one on each side, but unlike the other line, this one is not going to run from one end to the other. It's just going to be on each cup. And like I said earlier, these lines are not straight. Please do not make straight lines. Just make sure it is slightly curved when drawing your lines. I'm done mapping out the outlines and now it's time to sew. Sewing it is pretty much easy. You just have to follow the outlines that you have made. Make sure you leave sewing allowances where you are supposed to, and make sure you're also curving your boning as you're sewing. I'll start by sewing the outer line. On your ridgeline boning, there are 2 sewable parts, so I'll be sewing on the outer part first. I'm making sure my seams are open while I'm sewing through. I'll be repeating the same thing on this other side. I'm sewing down the outer edge of the ridgeline bone only. Now I'll be sewing round the edge of the cup. And just like before, I'm going to sew on the outer edge of the ridgeline boning. This is because we need the inner edge open, and you will see why soon. I'm just going to sew around the curved part. This might be a little bit difficult to do at times, but you just have to take your time and gently do it. So I've sewn the outer parts. Now it's time to start sewing our boning on the inner lines. Now here's the reason we left the inner parts open. This is because we're going to insert our boning into it. So I'm just going to open it up and I'll insert the boning inside it and I'll sew it down. I'm starting with the midline. I'll just insert my boning and I'll sew from one end to the other end, making sure my boning passes directly through my bust points. The next cage bonings will be on each cup, so I'll just insert my boning and I'll be sewing it down. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to push out my cup. So while I'm inserting my boning, you can see me pushing out the cup, making sure that it is firm. Then when I get to the end, I'm just going to cut it, then I'll insert it into the other end. I'll be repeating the same process on the other cup. I'm done sewing the horizontal lines. Now it's time to start sewing the vertical lines. I'll insert my boning and you can see me trying to push out my cup while following the curved line. So make sure you do the same. If you've watched up to this point and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so as I post educative content like this. Also click on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I make a new post. Our caging is done on one of the cups. Now we'll repeat the same process on this other cup. I'm done with both cups. Now the next thing to do is I'll be sewing down all the edges of the ridgeline bone that hasn't been sewn previously. I'm done sewing down all the edges, and this is what we have. This is what the outer part of our cup looks like, and you can see how firm it is. The next thing I'll do is to flesh out my cup. I'll be using hairstay for this, so just watch and see how I'll be doing it. I use 3 pieces of hairstay for the fleshing, and after I'm done attaching it to the cup, I'll trim off all the excesses that I have. I'm done, and this is what it looks like right now. Now this is the right part of my outfit, and you can see what it looks like. I used just wadding for this, and you can see how it is. Now I'll be bringing in the lining part with my caging, and you will see the difference it makes. I'm sure you can see the difference the caging has made to the bustier. You can see how firm it is looking right now. It's looking firm and fuller. We've come to the end of this tutorial, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't at this point. Also hit the like button and let me know in the comment section if you found this video helpful. See you in the next video. Bye.